Next regional, with not 1 star, not 2 star, not 3 star, not 4 star, but 5 star, Lisa Cox. So September 19th is the Saturday after conference. For all of you that are going to conference, don't think that you don't need to come to the regional because you just went to conference, because there's going to be recaps, and I mean, Lisa's going to be sharing how she got to 5-star national marketing director, and you can ask these guys, she's pretty amazing. So September 19th. And normally, Raelyn has a flyer to give everyone, but this is what she did. She went to, I heard this is what she did. She went to Staples, and it was a tax-free weekend. So there was a couple thousand people in Staples, and I got really flustered. And I was so excited, and I was sharing with the girl at Staples about my Nerium business, of course. And I was telling them about Dawn and Marylin and how wonderful they were, and they were coming. And so I sent her the Dawn and Marylin flyer. So I have 250 flyers for today's event, so it's kind of cool. I've never done that before, so you guys should feel lucky. So I want to bring Carl up because he's amazing and he helps us set up everything. So woo! We love you, Carl. He's a huge part of our family, and he helps us in so many ways, and it just wouldn't be the same without him. And then I didn't know that Lance and Megan were presenting today, so I'm sorry I don't have a card for you, but you guys know how much I love you, and I'll give you a really big card next time I see you. But Dawn and Marylin, we wanted to give you a little card and a little gift to show our appreciation for coming out today. You know, it's just so great that, you know, for Mike and I, Dawn and Marylin have always been our cheerleaders. Don called us one day when we were in the same position. He had probably just told Lance that he was a big spoiled brat, and so he probably knew we were feeling the same way, and he took time out of his day to call Mike and I, and has no reason to do that except that he's a wonderful person, and him and Marylin have always meant so much to us, and we've always been watching you, I promise. So thank you guys.
That's the part I was talking about, that you might get in for the money, but that's not what keeps you here, okay? So I've never been accused of holding people late, so we're going to stay on time frame. Guys, we've covered knowing your mindset, knowing your why when you're recruiting. People that understand it is a numbers game are the people who stick around and have success, okay? Amateurs sell, convince, professionals sort. Understanding that it is sorting through that big list. So, and I will just use a quick analogy. It's one that I learned that I love giving the new person is, how many cards are in a deck of cards? 52. How many aces are in that deck? 4. Okay. So why, when you flip over a 2, are you trying to turn that 2 into an ace? It's not going to happen. Love the 2 for being a 2, but keep sorting, looking for your aces. Those 4 aces will make you a lot of money. Okay? Building a big list. Guys, it takes more than exposing just 5 or 10 people to have success in this. The rule of thumb is, if they exist, they go on your list.
So the 2-a-day system, again, is all we want to do is teach people to pique their interest, ask a little simple question to see if they're interested. Then you want to send them a tool, learn to zip your mouth. We always tease that probably one thing they should include in the kit is some duct tape. And literally, the less you talk, the more money you make, I promise you. And it's really funny, when we see people get involved with the business, they tell us, oh, I don't want to sell. I hate salespeople. And they get in, and what do they turn into? The first person they talk to. They turn into a salesperson by magic. And you don't want to do that. Point to a tool, let the tool do the work, and then just follow this system. Set a follow-up call. You know, it's a very, very simple business, but if you get outside of that circle, you know, we have people that will call, can you do a 3-way with this person? Well, yeah, what have you given them? Nothing yet. They skip step 2. And we go, no, we're not going to do a 3-way with them right now. Get them a tool, get them the product, get them to an RRP, something first, then we'll be glad to help you with them. But we're not there to sell them into something they've never even looked at yet. And a lot of people think that if they can get, somebody else on the line, we can magically get them into the business by them not even knowing what they're looking at. So no, we won't do a 3-way call with somebody unless they've actually looked at something first.
Unless it's Megan doing the 3-way.
Yeah. She slams me every now and then. She'll call and just go, huh, and boom, I'm on a call. And of course, follow up with those people. That's how many people here have maybe handed a bottle out, sent a video, whatever, and you didn't follow up. Okay, the rest of you are liars. Come on. We've all done that. And you have to get over that. The follow-up is part of it. You may have to follow up 5 or 6 times. If you understand not everybody's going to join the first time that you talk to them, you understand it's a process, then it becomes easier to talk to those people because you're not expecting them to join right then. Understand it's a process.
Spend more time in your follow-ups than you do your exposures. Your exposures should be quick, fast, easy. Anybody can do that. The bulk of your time spent in your business will be spent in the follow-ups. That's where the fortune's made.
So we've talked about that. Yes.
We have talked about that. Be normal. Don't be a weirdo. You hear them talk about it from stage all the time. It's funny how before you start a business like this, you'll be in the checkout line at the grocery store. Very easy for you to turn and talk to the person in line behind you about the weather, about the Royals, about whatever, right? But as soon as you start a business like what we have, a home-based business, you're sitting there and you're looking that person up and down. And you make it very weird. You guys know what I'm talking about. What should I say to this person? How can I recruit this person? You start getting weird. Guys, be normal. Ask them what they do. Here's the easiest way to prospect somebody. You get to talking to somebody, you compliment them on what they're wearing or how cute their kids are, even if they're not, okay? It's okay. You ask them what they do. What is the normal thing for them to turn around and ask you? What'd you do? There, boom, that's it, guys. Make it very normal.
So, with that, I had a guy call me and he goes, Don, he said, I listened to your call on how to approach people. And I asked them, what do you do? And they told me, and they didn't ask me what I did. And he goes, I didn't know what to say. And, he called me from the store that he was talking at, and it was a really sharp, in his words, a beautiful lady, and he asked her what she did. She told him, never asked him. So I started laughing. I said, seriously, you're calling me from the store that these people are in? He goes, yeah, what do I say? And I said, well, just tell them, hey, this may be off the wall, but this is what I do. And he goes, oh, bye. So he runs out to the parking lot. He runs out to the parking lot, catches this lady as she's getting in the car, and he goes, hey, this may be totally off the wall, but this is what I do. He ended up sampling the lady. But people are funny. Don't know that was totally normal to chase her out to the car.
Well, 2 types of markets you're going to talk to: people you know, people you don't know. Okay? Warm market are going to be the people that you know. Now, your warm market is bigger than you think, guys. Okay? Take a look at your cell phone. If you've got 300 contacts in your cell phone, that's warm market. You knew them well enough at one point in time to get the phone number, right? Cold market's going to be somebody that you meet at a restaurant or out in public that you absolutely do not know.
So this is you in the middle again, and this is talking to people in your center, people that know you. And you want to do that really, really fast. And because if you don't, somebody else will. And when a town this size really gets on fire, a lot of people can find out about Nerium really quick. So if you know people, you want to be the ones introducing them, right? Okay, I'll give you an example. My sister and I were in another business, and my uncle was a very successful real estate person. So my sister and I actually had the conversation should we call Max and talk to him? No. You know, he would never do this. And so that we left it at that. It wasn't literally a couple weeks, we're at a meeting like this, guess who walks in the back with the guy, had already signed up with the guy, and went on to get to the top level of the company. So we learned real quick, and that was my uncle. No reason we could not have contacted him, and other than we made that decision not to, okay? And big advice there. Talk to everybody as quickly as you can. Get them into the filter. So again, it's just piquing people's interest, ask them simple little questions. I had a lady call me from Indiana that went into a department store yesterday or the day before. And from a call that we did Thursday, she learned a new little technique on how to talk to people. And so she was one that would kind of be one of the weirdos that Lance was talking about, because she would talk to everybody, but she would kind of drive home. People knew that she was attacking them. Well, she learned this little thing that just says, she was talking to a guy came out to meet her that worked at this store, and she said he was, you know, tall guy, dressed good personality. Typically she would have pounced on him. And she just said, hey, you know, I'm from Indiana, and she was actually down in Mississippi or Alabama somewhere working with her group. And she goes, I own my own business, and you know, we market anti-aging. She's still locked into the skincare, not just an anti-aging company. Anti-aging skincare product, and I'm looking for some people in this area to help me launch my business here and maybe sample some product and network with. And the guy goes, okay, he said, my wife would be interested in that. So it was like, oh my gosh, that worked. So she goes down there and she has the same conversation with her, and the lady goes, well, you said that you were looking for somebody to, you know, use the product, but you also said you were looking for people to network with and maybe help you market this product. Is that what you said? And she said, yeah. And she said, well, I'd be interested in that. I've been here way too long. And I mean, it's just learning some simple things. She didn't get weirdo on them. She just asked some questions, and you know, it was a very simple process for her.
Guys, it's like this. You don't know what's going on in somebody's life. Okay? So, real quickly, I mean, 3 years ago, from the outside looking in, my life and Megan's life looked great. You know, beautiful kids, nice house, you know, decent cars. We seemed happy, but thank goodness they didn't prejudge us and say, oh my gosh, Lance and Megan would laugh at us, you know, if we even brought this to them. Thank goodness they didn't do that for us, because inside we were broken, you know, and we needed something like this. So if there's somebody that you're looking at or thinking about that you think would absolutely tell you no, go get the no, guys. Let them tell you no. Thank goodness Megan, you know, said, you know, that product doesn't work, let me try it, and the rest is history. But just if they exist, they go on your list. Be courteous when you're prospecting, guys. Okay? Nobody likes how many people like going into a department store or into a car lot or something, and you've got that person, that very, very aggressive vulture, just looking to poach you? Nobody likes that. Be courteous. Give them a compliment. Let them off the hook. Let them know, hey, look, you know, this probably isn't for you. If somebody says something's not, if you tell Megan something's not for her, look out. So if you guys have something out there you want to sell, tell her it's not for her, and she's going to buy it from you. But that's just how it works. Who likes to be told no? Nobody likes to be told no. It stings. It hurts. It doesn't get more comfortable. Now, it does get more comfortable. But if you get the no out of the way first for that person, what do they have to say no to? Hey, look, this probably isn't for you, but you know people that I don't know. I market an anti-aging product. Do you know anybody who uses an anti-aging product? Well, yeah, me or my mom but you already told them it wasn't for them. So they're not feeling as if you're trying to get them into one of those things. Like my quote fingers, those things. Because it's very uncomfortable, and it makes their guard immediately go up, and they want to tell you no. Just say no for them. Hey, listen, this probably isn't for you.
So form, a lot of people may not know what that is. That when I was talking earlier about how I started learning to talk to people, that's what I used was form. Who can tell me what the F stands for? Family, occupation, or money. Motivation or money. So you learn to ask these questions. It doesn't have to be in that order. You know, I don't have to talk to you about your family. I can talk about your job. I can talk about what you can put that in any order that you feel comfortable with at that time. It may be talking to them about their family. You know, where'd you go to high school? You look familiar. My gosh, where'd you go to high school? You know, you're trying to find some common bond with them quickly. It's amazing in a town that you grow up in, if you ask somebody what high school they went to and they tell you, oh, really, you know so-and-so? Oh, yeah, you have an instant bond with them right then. Oops. Social media, you know, Nerium's really working on this for us. There's a lot of classes out there online that you can take to learn how to market without being one of those people. You know, learn to make classy posts on your Facebook page. Learn how to maybe not pound people every day. You want to mix in a lot of family, a lot of normal stuff. Not just Nerium, because pretty soon you have no friends and nobody's looking at that. And you know, if you just post Nerium and nobody likes it or nobody makes a comment about it, pretty soon Facebook doesn't send your stuff to people that doesn't like your stuff. So they have these, whatever they call it, algorithms, that they know who's liking your stuff. And if you've got a lot of friends that haven't liked your post, they're probably not even getting your post anymore. So to correct that, you start liking their post, and it'll kind of hook you back up with them as friends. So it's really, there's a report in the back that can tell you how many people are looking at your posts that you're making every day. So, but again, if you make Nerium and nobody's liking it, then you are probably just sending that out into la la land. Nobody's looking at it. And that's what gets you frustrated. Well, I'm making all these posts and nobody's liking them. Nobody's making comments. Nobody's seeing them. So you've got to like other people's stuff too. Don't just be a taker.
Third-party tools was probably one of the toughest things for me to grasp, right? Especially, here's what people do. They join this business and they're out looking for professional salespeople, right? Like, well, that so-and-so is a great salesperson. They'll rock this business. Well, I was a great salesperson, and I came into this business and did it all wrong, okay? I was selling people into my business, all right? They were borrowing my belief, had no belief of their own, and I was selling kits like crazy, okay? And I couldn't figure out why these people weren't hanging around. I couldn't figure out why these people were quitting the business. So it was finally brought to my attention by a special somebody that I was selling people into my business. I just thought I was selling them the dream because I was excited. I wasn't showing them the magazines. I wasn't showing the product. I was showing pictures. You know, I thought that counted. But at the end of the day, the only thing that they knew about Nerium was my mouth was moving. They weren't seeing what I saw that got me excited. So guys, if you are a professional salesperson, this might be something that's a little bit tougher for you to grasp too. You got to get out of your own way, or your business will never grow away from you.
So again, once you get it, somebody's okay to send them an email, then send them an email, and now they're going to get 5 or 6 or 7 exposures. You can see in your back office who's opened up a video. If they don't be afraid to call them up and say, hey, I sent you a video, but it doesn't look like you looked at it yet. Did you get it? So you're just curious whether they've received it or not. If they go, oh, no, I haven't seen it, they're probably lying. They did see it. They just deleted it. But, hey, I'll resend it to you. You know, if I'd send it over, can you look at it tonight? So a lot of us have a lot of people that we send emails to. They never open it. Don't be afraid to call them and ask them and then resend it to them. But set a follow-up time this time to call them up that next day and see what they like about it.
You guys want to hear the best line that I use to recruit people? Yes. Do you? Yes. Okay. Here's why the tool exposure wheel works, okay? Somebody puts me on the phone with somebody, or it's my own prospect, And I've taken them through the exposure wheel, or let's say Dawn took them through the exposure wheel of sample, recruit blitz call, an RRP, whatever it was, and they put them on the phone with me. And they're just, man, I just don't know, if I've got the time to do that. I just don't know if I can do that. And I'll say, well, let's just, I know, I'm hurrying.
No.
Let's say,
how long do we have?
I don't even know. All right, this will be good. This will be worth you guys coming out for. Okay, so ask that person. Say, well, let's just kind of backtrack and don't make it seem like they're not being pursued. Say, okay, let's go back through the process that you've gone through so far. Okay? They'll say, okay, well, Don gave me a bottle. I tried the product. I'm like, okay, then what? Well, then he took me to a Tuesday night market party at the Nerium event in Springfield. Okay, perfect. Then what did he do? Well, he put me on the phone with you. I'm like, okay, so can you do what was done to you? It's okay to say that. Can you do what was done to you? Well, of course I can. Would you do what was done with you to your friends, families, neighbors, co-workers? This is it. This is it. We simply take somebody from not knowing about Nerium to knowing about Nerium. And guys, that's how you recruit somebody. Okay?
This is kind of common sense. Just label your tools. Any tool that you get out, put a label, phone number, something somebody can follow up with you. That's just common sense in business. We talked about this, the landing pages for people. Very simple tool. It does hook them up to a campaign where they're going to continue to get several emails from you. So again, if they're not looking at them, call them up, see if they got it.
The follow-up call, guys, I am never leaving an exposure without setting my next follow-up, right? Because here's what people do a lot of times. They'll expose somebody, give them a magazine, or give them a bottle, or have them listen to a Sunday night blitz call, and they leave it at that. They say, let me know what you think. They leave it open-ended, right? What are the odds of that person calling you back? I mean, they're going to have to be like rock star material, just get this and build the business with or without you, right? The follow-up is so important. So when I'm doing an exposure, I'm automatically setting that next follow-up. I'm setting the appointment right then and there. So I got your email, so when would you have time to be in front of a computer tonight? Well, I don't know. I mean, I get the kids to bed at like 8:30, so okay, perfect. At 8:30, I want you to check your inbox, and the video is only about 28 minutes long. So by 9:15ish or so, I'm going to call you, see what you like best, okay? That person says, yeah, okay. Well, now I'm getting off the phone with that person. What does that person think that they have to do at 8:30? They got to watch that video because Lance is calling, right? But they don't realize that's what's going on when you're talking to them. So, guys, never leave an exposure open-ended. Always leave it with that next follow-up being scheduled, so they're expecting it, okay? And if they don't answer your phone or call you back, guess what? It's not for them. That's okay. You didn't waste a lot of time with them.
So three-way calls, that is really, you've got to do this. I can't emphasize how important three-way calls are. One, it gets you out of the way. Your friends know you. You don't know anything about this business. You don't know anything about skincare. You don't know anything about making money. Whatever it is, your friends know you, but they don't know Lance or they don't know your leader. So you want to plug them into that three-way call, and it's a very simple process after they watch something. You know, you don't even have, you set it up first with whoever you're going to do that call with. You set it up with them first that you're going to be doing a follow-up call, and then they're watching for your call. And all you do is say, hey, let's say they like the product or they like whatever you sent them, and they ask a question. Now, if they just say, hey, I love the product, how I get this, you don't need to do a three-way call right then because they've already said yes. So get them signed up. If they want to, yeah, this is great business, let's get this going. You may want to bring somebody else on to find out their real why and all that information, but it's the follow-up, the three-way calls are a huge, huge part of this business. when you're doing it, go ahead, Lance.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, I'm glad that this slide was next. The proper way to do a three-way call in the beginning, I mean, anybody ever been nervous to put their friends, family, neighbors, prospects on the phone with upline? Everybody in this room should be raising their hand, because there's nothing more uncomfortable about doing it your first few times, okay? So when I was doing it in the beginning, I was blowing it, okay? I'd be like, hey, Don, look, I got this buddy. I think he'd rock this business. I want to introduce you to him. And I thought, man, if I can just get him on the phone with Don, then I'm like home free. This guy's going to get in. Well, so I'm like, hey, Don, this is my friend George. George is Don. And I mean, it's Don. He's teaching me the industry. He's really showing me he loves helping people. And he's helping me. Okay, so he's going to be able to answer your questions better than I can. Well, then Don starts doing the form, starts getting to know the guy. Hey, Don, tell him what we did our first year of business. No, Don, tell him how awesome San Diego was. So after about the third time of me doing that, Don said, hey, look, it looks like Lance knows a lot more about this business than I do. Maybe he can help you. Didn't really do that to me, but I'm sure he wanted to. But I had to learn, and you guys have to learn, you have to learn the proper way of doing it. It's three-way etiquette. Get your expert on the call. Edify the expert before you get the expert on the call, because it's a little bit uncomfortable for everybody. Being told how awesome you are with a brand new person on the phone, I mean, that's very uncomfortable. Okay? So tell them how awesome I am before you get them on the phone. I'm just kidding. Edify the expert before you get them on the phone, though, so that they are anticipating talking to you. Because here's how that works. If you're putting a doctor on the phone with me, guess who the expert is in that conversation? I'm still the expert. Now, I'm not an expert in the medical field, but I'm an expert in this industry. So the doctor is going to listen to me. He's not going to listen to you, okay? Same goes, if I know the doctor, he's not going to listen to me because he knows me. He's going to listen to Don, though, because Don is third party to him. Are you guys getting that? Okay. Make sure you're edifying before you get, make sure you're edifying before you get on the phone.
Are you wanting up, Jeremy? Okay. I think we're getting close to the end. I'm not even sure. So, sponsoring is a really big deal, and you have to understand that. When you bring somebody into the business, if you don't know the business to where you can really teach them, get them on the phone with somebody that does. That's a big deal. You're messing with somebody's life here. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then get somebody on the phone with them that does. And you probably should get somebody on the phone with them no matter what, as quickly as possible. But you want to, this is a big deal for people. I mean, it's changing people's lives. And you recruit somebody and you don't do the right things with them, you're screwing with their life. Because you brought them into the business. It's a big responsibility to sponsor and enroll somebody. And take it as that being so important that you want to do the best possible job. And you may not know what that is, so get somebody that does until you learn that. But it's sponsoring people is a big thing. Oh, we are.
We are done.
So,
guys, we had a lot of fun with you guys. Now who's excited about their Nerium business?